can see we are supplying less than, almost a third, less than half of the requirement. What measures are we taking? Other than writing letters, we have changed the management of the government printer because we also would believe that part of the challenge is the innovation of the leadership at that unit to provide off-balance sheet, off-budget solutions to some of the capacity challenges we are having. And I can report comfortably, after changing the management of the government press in the last 2 months, the new government printer has tabled, and I have approved, an equipment modernization program which will not even involve government spending any money, because it's through a lease of equipment where over time we will pay whoever owns those machines, and after 10 years we hand over the machines to him. That is the solution that helped us with police vehicles when the police leasing, vehicle leasing program was initiated. So we believe very soon that will be tackled. But in the meantime, we have asked the CRS, that is the Civil Registry Department or unit, Civil Registry Service Department, to give the government printer the projections for the rest of the year. And we are working to see how, pending the modernization program I'm talking about, that demand can be met as soon as possible. Mr. Speaker, finally, on that issue, I want to assure the House again that perhaps when I come back, the members will have positive feedback on this service, because we believe the registration of the births of our children and the deaths of our departed persons should not be aggravated further by absence of documents. The member for Gilgil has also asked whether the detention of young mothers in hospitals, especially under the Linda Mama program, is linked to the shortage of these booklets. The government's position is that this is not the case for 2 reasons, Honorable Speaker. Reason number 1 is that birth registration is free of charge, so it cannot be the purpose that makes a mother to be detained in hospital beyond the time she's supposed to be released. Secondly, why we believe this is not the cause is because the registration of births is allowed to take place within a period of 6 months after birth. So long as it's done within 6 months, it's lawful. So it cannot be the basis of saying, you know, we hold a mother in hospital who has given birth because of lack of these booklets. That notwithstanding, when I got this parliamentary question, I have directed the civil registrar to provide us with a solution. Even as we wait for this equipment, we need to find a solution so that should the House require me to provide an update in the next few months, because the equipment program may take around 6 months because of the nature, the financing and the contractual arrangements, we will have an answer. Finally, Honorable Speaker, is that we have shortage of personnel. That's another challenge we are having in that department. We have only about the 286 civil registrars for the whole country, against the establishment of approximately 1,400, which has been approved by the Public Service Commission. We are trying to see how, even if we don't fill the entire complement, the Public Service Commission can help us perhaps hire a few more in the financial year that starts June 2023.
Majority Leader, Wangari, you want to have your first shot? Let Majority Leader go first. I'll give you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, may commend the CS for being the first CS to appear in this session. But Honorable Speaker, you will, and the House will appreciate that the reason, part of the reasons why we wanted CSs to appear before the House is for them to answer to questions that are of concern to the people, but also to use this opportunity to expound on government policy on what government is doing. Honorable Speaker, it has been my belief in the past, and maybe something the CS will work to change that belief in me, that the personification of bureaucracy in government and the personification of liturgy in government operations resides in the Ministry of Interior. And if you listen to the answers pertaining to the issues to do with bandits, and even now when I listen to the CS answer the question on slow printing of forms, I hear the CS telling us forms are slowly being printed by the government printer because of challenges of modernization in the government printer's office, challenges of employment, there are low staff levels in the department. When I also listen to the president who has hired the CS, the president is talking about digitization. So I really want to know from the CS. Well, we are also complaining of a huge wage bill in the public service. When the president is telling us about digitization, and the CS is telling us that he's modernizing printing, shouldn't we then be getting this B1 form in a digital form? Citizen services have engaged with him on a unique identifier system that seeks to capture data of newborns digitally, electronically. But now the CS is telling us about modernizing the government printer, hiring another person at the government printer who will be more efficient, leasing equipment instead of buying new equipment. CS, you must tell us, where do you sit? Are you aligned to the president's agenda to digitize, or are you not? It is that simple. Cabinet Secretary. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was hoping that this would be a softer question because it has no guns, but I can see the guns are already coming out. But I want to just also thank the CS, congratulate him for being the first one in this very unique arrangement where we get answers firsthand instead of what we used to go about last Parliament, 11th Parliament, chairs who had no substantial answers.